As you get into the hobby of painting miniatures, you're going to come to rely on your fine tip brushes a lot, and the smaller the detail, the more you need them to perform efficiently and accurately. And you will find that they are the first brushes to sort of go out of tolerance for what you can work with, and trying to work with one that's frayed is extremely frustrating. At first, it's fantastic when you get a brand new fine tip brush. You can't believe how accurate you can get. And what I've found is by using a brand new brush, I can move through my miniatures so much faster. And I started to pick up on over the year that when the brush tip starts to break down or get frayed, I'll just work slower and slower, and I basically have less and less fun. So the point of this video is, and all these videos, is I want you to have the most fun possible. Your larger and your medium tip brushes seem to be a little bit more resilient. Your fine brushes are the ones that really are the most finicky and also the most vital for doing your detail. So throughout the course of burning through many fine tip brushes, I have tried a number of different methods to reshape and clean them, and nothing I did really seemed to work. I've tried boiling water, and I've tried acetone in particular, and they don't seem to break down the acrylic medium. I guess after I did the spray paint with acetone cleanup trick, I realized that spray paint solvent is acetone, acrylic paint's solvent is acrylic medium. So it works. It works to break down old hardened acrylic paint out of your fine tip brushes. Acrylic medium builds up in the base of the brush, and you can kind of see it if you fold your bristles like this. Like they give to a certain point and then they just kind of stop. This is the area that we want to break up that hardened acrylic paint. So I think I covered all the information I was trying to cover. What I started doing is I'll just take some acrylic medium like this right before I paint, or during, anytime I feel like I'm kind of struggling. And this is, I will say, this is to stretch the life of these fine tip brushes, which I've been able to do. But eventually they probably need to be replaced anyhow. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in some acrylic medium, bring this up to the camera for you, and I'll show you what you want to look for. What I do is I'm a bit aggressive with it, and bear in mind these brushes cost me about $2 a piece, so I was able to experiment, but I kind of am putting pressure into the base out of like a 45-degree angle, and I'm just kind of like swirling it. I'm being quite aggressive, but I'm not necessarily doing this. This is a 90-degree angle. Now I do this as well, because I've found typically if you did this in your water, you would have just instantly destroyed your fine tip brush. But with the acrylic medium, it really you can be really aggressive with it and it bounces back, I've found so far. Would I do that with a $15 brush? I don't think we'll ever buy a $15 brush, so no. I've started to get some pigment in the acrylic medium here, and you can thin this too with a little bit of water if you want to stretch it. But what you're really looking for is right there. See that little particle? Particularly with a dirty brush, you will start to see kind of acrylic shrapnel coming off of your brush. So I just went and found another brush because I really want to get on camera a good example of what to look for, what you want to be seeing when you use this method. Just take some acrylic medium and start working that into the base of the bristles. Okay, so we can see how much red is coming out of this brush already. Grab a little bit more. Yeah, Lamian Medium from Citadel, or just Acrylic Medium, has been really my new best friend in the hobby world. You can also use it to salvage paint from your palette, which I will make another video for, and when that one is ready I'll link it to this. So this is like getting really deep red now, and you can hopefully see there's a bunch of sand like texture in here. Let me see if I can refocus this. Yeah, those big chunks of acrylic paint is what you want to see. Big relative scale to this brush. But all that stuff is what rests in the base of your brushes and keeps them from being able to come to a fine point from what I've discovered so far. So there you go. There's a better example of what you want to be looking for. So then going back to the paper towel, I'm just going to use it to pull out as much pigment as I can. And then I will rinse in water and repeat the process several times. Each tiny little granule that you get out is huge on this scale. After I've cleaned my brush basically with the acrylic medium, I'm just going to make sure that there's a little bit more in there to keep it soft. Basically, I want to make sure that the acrylic is in a liquid state, and then I'm just going to bring it over to my water and kind of just rinse it off. Now there's a second half to this as well that I will shoot a second video for, more specifically about reshaping. What I've found is you can't get to the reshaping phase without, it doesn't really work unless you break down that old acrylic medium out of your brush. Then the next step that I've been using is to put the brush into boiling water, but I will make a follow-up video demonstrating that. I recommend using like a hard ceramic plate, in particular because if you do this on your wet palette, you're going to poke a hole right through, and it's nice to have a clean white surface and a hard surface you can press into, and you can really see the progress that you're making. That is that trick, and it has saved me countless dollars already and countless frustrations, so hopefully it does the same for you. Thank you for watching.